Hello, Divine Souls. It's Anna T. Brooks, your Sovereign Energy Alchemist, and welcome to this week's weekly Oracle card energy reading for the week 12th to the 18th of April 2021. So we are heading into the middle of April. So welcome everybody. If you're new here, make sure you say hello. If you're coming back and watching this weekly, say hello as well. I always love to hear from you. I love to hear what's going on in your life as well. So for anyone new, let's run through how these Oracle card readings work. So I love to use the Work Your Light Oracle card deck. Let me just get that into the right light. There we go. The Work Your Light Oracle card deck by Rebecca Campbell. So this is the deck that I use every single week, and I do my own kind of reading where I pull 3 cards which cover mind, body, and soul. So the mind card, the mindset card, is talking about what kind of conscious energies you're going to be aware of during the week. So what are you going to be thinking about? What are you going to be aware of? What is the kind of energy that's floating around that you can really feel that this is around you? The second card, the body card, is more of the physical. So this can be to do with you and your own physical body, or it could be to do with physical situations around you. So relationships, colleagues, people around you, what's going on in your physical external world as well. And then finally, the soul card, this is the underlying energies, the stuff that's kind of brewing, the things that maybe if I didn't point out, you would not become as aware of, or you would become aware of it later on where you're like, oh, I could feel that going on, right? It's kind of that underlying soul energy that's going on underneath and that's guiding things. And it's kind of giving you a bit of a push or a pull into a certain direction, but you may not be able to put your finger on it unless you're aware that that's what's going on. So those are the 3 energies that I love to work with. I always take my time before doing this recording for you, where I take time to meditate and pull the cards ahead of time so that I already have them all ready to go. So without further ado, let's get into the reading. I always go through each card one by one. I love to read from the actual guidebook as well for you, and I really suggest, especially if you're working on your own intuitive strengths, to, while I'm reading, close down your eyes if you wish, or whatever you want to do, and just really listen and feel for any particular message that comes through that just pulls to you. It might be in your heart, it might be in your gut, it might be anywhere in your body that you just kind of feel like, ooh, that's for me, right? This is a really beautiful exercise to actually practice hearing specific messages for yourself as well. So let's get into it. So card number 1 for this week. I just want to start, before I get started, I do just want to say, you are going to see, for those of you that have been watching for a while, we've got some cards coming back again. There is a very similar energy, and I'm feeling like this is going to be through the entire Aries season until we move into Taurus season towards the end of the month. I'm still feeling like there's going to be a lot of the similar energies floating around, but this does have a different feel to last week. So last week was very fiery. We were really getting into, we were going into the Aries new moon at the end of the week, which kind of really elevated everything. I feel like after the Aries new moon, after a few days afterwards, so going into this week, it's actually going to start to calm down a little bit. And there's still a lot of very specific, very action orientated, and there's so many downloads, so much inspiration, so much knowledge, so much wisdom coming through you, but there's a much gentler energy. Whereas last week you may have found it was very fiery, and there was a lot of drama, there was a lot of things going on that everyone was just trying to be like, oh my God, how do I deal with all of this? And there were so many people's opinions and so many things flying out from the world. I feel like this week it's that part has died down a little bit. So let's get into it. Like I said, you're going to find that there's a few cards that are popping back up. So there's obviously a theme going on. So the first card for mind is Trust the Niggle. So we've had this card several times actually. Trust the Niggle. So let me read from the guidebook for you. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? That niggling feeling, that annoying niggling feeling, that inconvenient annoying niggling feeling. Try as you might, it's there and it ain't going anywhere. Most people spend years ignoring their niggling feelings. They're throwing their best dollops of stubbornness, ego, and post-rationalization to numb them out. It's exhausting. And until you face the niggle, life just throws you more bait to awaken it. You draw your attention to the light within you that is bursting to come out. The niggle is an arrow pointing to what is standing in your way. The relationship, the conversation, the decision, the shift that needs to be made, the stone in your shoe. Often we feel the niggling feeling in our body first. Many people think that intuition is something from the higher realms, but in fact, it's the body that is the intuitive one, working through our senses to deliver vibrational information. It takes just a moment every day to scan your body to receive the intuitive intelligence and act on it quickly. You're being called to face the niggle now. If you don't face it, the universe will throw something much bigger and more obvious in your path, and then you'll likely regret that you didn't answer the niggle in the first place. I know it's scary, but you are safe. Answer the niggle now. So this is an inquiry card asking you to really look into what is your niggling feeling trying to tell you. So this week, you're going to be really aware that your intuition is really kicking things up, into overdrive. And you might see in other people as well, where they're just telling you like, oh my gosh, I have this feeling like I need to do something, like I need to change this, like it's getting overwhelming. And this card, this, trust your niggle card, it's been coming up several times over the last few weeks. So it's definitely something that's been building and building and building. So this week, it's not slowing down at all. If anything, it's just asking you to really bring it into your awareness even more. What is that niggling feeling trying to tell you? Where is it trying to nudge you to change something, to shift something, to acknowledge something, to whatever it is that you need to do for trusting that niggling feeling? You're going to be very aware of it this week. And like I said, it's telling you, do not ignore it. Do not ignore it, because you are going to likely regret it if you do. Second card, so this is for the body, the physical. We have birthing a new age. Another card that we have had several times over the last few weeks, you probably remember. It came from like the conscious energies being about transformation to birthing a new age. And now the birthing a new age has shown up in the physical. So it's kind of, when I see this, and I like to look back on the previous readings, it's almost like it's moved from the things that you're thinking about, the things that you're aware of, the conscious energies, to now being really embodied. Like there's something that you're doing that's actually now brought into the physical. So before I expand on that, let me just read from the book. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Often our path is exactly the one we don't feel prepared to walk. Walk it anyway. Often what is rising feels far bigger than we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyway. Often our creations seem to have a wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their own. Birth them anyway. Often what is ours to do is the very thing that most intimidates us. Be courageous and do it anyway. We are birthing a new age. Right now we're in a transition period between the ages, in the process of allowing the old cycle to fall away and the new to rise. Like driving in the fog and trusting the road will appear, we need to release old identities and ways that no longer serve us, using our intuition as a compass. You are part of a group of souls who have been incarnating at significant periods of history, preparing for this exact time. It is time to give permission and space for what is beckoning within to be born. We are dreaming a new world into being. So there is an activation that comes with this. If you wish to receive this, deep breath, hand on your heart or wherever feels good for you, close down your eyes, and the intent to receive. I am open to surrendering to the creations that are wanting to be birthed through me. May I be of service in a way that delights my mind, body, and soul. Please use me, please lead me, please show me the way. So what I was saying previously about how this card has transitioned from being in the conscious, in the mind position in the last couple of weeks, to now being in the physical. It's almost like whatever it is that you've been thinking about, whatever it is that you're becoming aware of, that this is what I'm meant to do, this is what I'm meant to bring forth, this is my new age, this is my new paradigm, this is my new shift into a certain part of my life. It's getting to a stage where this week you are starting to see that physically come into fruition. So it might be that you're actually making some sort of physical changes in your life, in your situation, in your work, in your relationships. It might be to do with yourself. It might be that you're actually starting to really implement certain routines or certain habits or certain plans that you've put in place for yourself, right? But there's something very much moving from that energy coming from just the conscious and being aware of it, and something that's in your mind and in your thoughts, to now becoming tangible. Or it might be that if you have already been putting things into place, this week you start to see some kind of tangible results start to land from that work, from that intention setting. So that's really, really exciting. And then you can really start to see this new way of doing whatever it is that this applies to you, really coming into form. Finally, the third card, so this is the unconscious, underlying, subconscious kind of energies and we have Keepers of the Earth. Another card that I know we've had at least once over the last few weeks, Keepers of the Earth. I love this card. This is such a beautiful card to have in this position as well. So let me read from the guidebook for you. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. You are so supported. You do not stand alone. You have a magnificent team of helpers, both in this world and of the earth, who are here to help your every step of the way. Call upon them for assistance. They are here to help. The Keepers of the Earth acknowledge the work that you've done already and are ready to work through you. They bow at your feet and thank you for wanting to stand for them, to devote your life to protecting the earth in your unique way. It is time to increase your capacity to receive in the physical realm. This can come in the form of financial abundance, acts of service from strangers, or people flocking to help you and your work. The only thing that is stopping you right now is your capacity to receive support. You deserve to be rewarded for the work that you are doing. You do not need to go at it alone. Call upon the Keepers of the Earth to help you and your mission. Open your heart and your mind to receiving more than you ever thought possible. What kind of support do you need? Call it in right away. Once again, this is an activation card. So if you wish to receive, deep breath, close down your eyes. I am open to receiving a whole new level of support for my life and my work, and I call it in now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I highly recommend writing that actual statement down. You can obviously re-listen to this. And if you're really feeling pulled to that card, because I know a few people I can think of at the top of my head that this is going to really apply to, if you're feeling very, very resonant with that particular message, write that down and use that as like an affirmation, as like a grounding point for yourself throughout the week as well. Because this is the underlying energies, right? That you are really, really supported with whatever is going on, right? With whatever it is that niggle is still getting to you. It's really wanting your attention, right? And you're physically starting to birth a new age. Something is starting to come through. Something is starting to land. Something is starting to become tangible. You are capable of so much more. The Keepers of the Earth want you to know that you are so supported, to ask for that support. So it can feel perhaps like if you weren't aware of this, it could feel like maybe that you're doing this all on your own, or that you don't have the support, or whatever it is. So knowing this instead, knowing that this is actually coming through the Keepers of the Earth, it gives you that advantage of knowing that, excuse me, you absolutely are supported. It's time to ask for more help, both in the physical, right? That birthing a new age card for your physical. There is something that probably that you can do this week that you can actually ask for physically some kind of support. You can call someone into you. You can speak to someone. You can state. You can take action. You can ask for that support actually in the tangible. And there's also probably going to be something where you need to trust your niggle, right? You need to trust that feeling inside of you and know that you are supported, and ask for that divine help from the outer realms, from what isn't physical and tangible as well, because your spirit team are supporting you. They want you to succeed. They know the beautiful work that you're doing and the mission that you have on your heart for society, for the world, for everyone at large, and they want to support you. So like I said, it's a different feel. There's still a lot going on, right? We've still got trust your niggle. We've still got birthing a new age. Like there's so many things landing into place, things really brewing, the tangible things starting to come through. That support, just keeping on reminding you to keep asking for the support. You deserve it. They want to help you, right? So there's still so much going on. It's still such an intense energy, but it's a much calmer energy, right? Where last week was a lot about needing to remember to stand your ground and to not be swayed by everything else around you. This week, it's like that's sort of past after the new moon energy. It's sort of waning off now. And as we're getting ready to move into Taurus season, it's like, okay, let's bring the tangible in. Let's really trust what's coming through you, and let's bring it in. Let's bring it in. Let's bring it in. So that's the beautiful energies for the week. I would love to hear from you, how this is resonating, how this is working out for you, any comments you wish to leave. I love to hear from you. Of course, as always, hit like, hit subscribe, hit share if you think that this is really valuable and you'd love to see other people check it out and how it helps them. And yeah, I will see you next week. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. And remember, live life on purpose.